Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Steve Taylor Community Connection Show. You know, I have such a community icon with us today here in our Taylor Studios. I am so very, very proud of her. She does such great work in our community. The one and only Sheila Howard, our Blade reporter, covers so much great community work and just is just a phenomenal reporter. Sheila, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great this morning. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. You're looking beautiful, by the way.
Well,
I just thought I would add that in.
Thank you so much. And you're representing with your green as well.
I'm not slimy, I'm slick. It's a slick green, okay? And it is St. Patty's week, so we wanted to represent today, didn't we?
And you're doing it well.
Well, I really appreciate you coming in. I really do. As I said before, you do such great work. But one thing I'm not sure about, and one of the reasons I wanted to have you in is because even though I see the great stories that you write with different companies in our community and that you cover, I don't know very much about you.
Okay.
So I really want to kick this off by finding out about who is Sheila Howard.
All right. Well, that's a loaded question, but thank you for asking. I like to think that my personality is kind of layered. I'm not just a journalist. Journalism is a huge part of my life, of course, because I love to write and I love to tell and share stories, but I'm also very much into health, wellness, and fitness. It is a huge part of my life as I am a formerly morbidly obese person. I walked around at 350 pounds for a good while, very sickly, not really living life to the fullest because I was, in a lot of pain and had other ailments and illnesses. So kind of what took me into the second part of my life, I like to call it, was weight loss and focusing on my health and wellness and fitness. And it transitioned me into becoming an author because I wrote
You're an author too?
I'm an author. I wrote a book about my weight loss experience and how my life changed. And another part of that is juicing. I'm a juicer, and I wrote 2 more books about juicing, how it plays.
Hold on a minute. How many books have you've written so far?
I've written 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So juicing, again,
Right.
is a huge part of who I am, and I also juice for clients through my company.
So you have a juice line as well?
I have a juice line. It's called Jag Juice.
Okay, Jag Juice. And if you don't mind, could you share with us the titles of your books?
Absolutely. My first book is called Trapped Inside Myself, My Journey Out of Morbid Obesity. My second book is Juicing with She-Jag.
Okay.
And it's a veggie-based juices. And the second one is Juicing with She-Jag 2, which are fruit-based juices.
Now, is that kind of like a series?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
It's kind of like a part 1, part 2, because
Okay.
people were, saying, hey, do you have something with the fruit? Because again, the first book is a lot of vegetable.
Right.
It's really vegetable based, and the second one is a lot of fruit based.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you are multi-talented.
Well, thank you. I
I'm sure
appreciate
most people, and here in the city of Toledo, you're from Michigan, aren't you?
I am born and raised in Detroit.
In Detroit. Let's go. The Motor City.
That's right, indeed.
Indeed. What they say, Detroit versus everybody. I absolutely love Detroit. Everybody has such a positive attitude, and they're very supportive of each other. Every time I visit Detroit, Michigan, I'm just treated with so much love, and they just welcome me. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So your name is Sheila Howard.
Yes.
But they call you She-Jag.
They call me She-Jag.
Where did that name come from?
She-Jag comes from actually a personalized license plate. I love Jaguar cars, and I treated myself to a Jaguar in my early 30s, and I wanted a personalized plate. Sheila's Jag wouldn't fit, but She Jag did. So I put She Jag on the back of my.
Oh, you bought the Jag?
I bought the Jag.
Okay.
And put She Jag on there, and people started calling me She Jag. I would get out of my car and it was like, I see you, She Jag. Hey, She Jag. And then they started calling me She Jag at work.
Wow.
And right when, I've had that name quite a while now, when email became like a thing for like everybody,
right.
I was like, I gotta come up with a name for my for my email. This tells you how long ago this was. And I said, oh, I'll use She Jag.
Wow.
And I put it on there. And then when social media came, I got on social media to spy on my kids because they had whatever the first one out there. And I said, I'll make my name She Jag so I can see what my kids are doing. And it just went. The rest is history.
Right. It is such an unusual name, and it has a great story behind it.
Thank you.
That is why. I mean, you've let our audience know now why your nickname is She Jag.
That's where it comes from.
That's amazing. I think one of the last things I really want to speak about, I mentioned earlier that you do such great coverage in our community, from the African American Legacy Project to connecting kids to meals to, I think you've had an interview with so many outstanding organizations, So you do a tremendous job in research.
Thank you.
You really, really do. And one recent one that really sticks out for me was, let me get this right, I think you were out at the University of Toledo and you discovered that they are actually, I don't know if it's a restaurant or kind of like a place where they serve, but you discovered a place out at UT where they serve soul food, I believe.
So yeah, the University of Toledo's department, multicultural, I think it's called multicultural department. Apparently every month they served a different type of cultural cuisine for the students, faculty.
Is that like a theme?
Yeah, they do it every month. It's something different. So during Black History Month, they opted for soul food. And Chef Michaela, really popular around the city. I think she competed on the Food Network competition, so she's really popular. She, cooked a whole soul food meal for the staff, faculty, community, and it was amazing.
Do you remember some of the items on the menu?
Yeah, she had cabbage and collard greens and cornbread and ribs and mac and cheese and jerk chicken, because she's Caribbean, and it was an amazing meal. The people, the students some of the students were like, oh, I'm from so-and-so, and it was like being at home. It was like eating my grandmother's cooking, and the faculty was down there eating. It was really, really cool. And writing that story was really interesting because I, instead of just focusing on that day and that meal, I took it a step further because kind of what you may think in your culture that everybody knows, everybody doesn't know. We know the history of soul food, but everybody doesn't. Right. And so I took that opportunity to share with the readers the history behind soul food, how slaves pretty much ate what was thrown out, right? They had to make do with what the slave owners didn't want. So parts of the meat of the pigs and the cows that they didn't want, they tossed in the trash, and the slaves ate it. That's what they had. They ate what they had. They were in survival mode, but they managed to take those thrown out items and turn it into an amazing cuisine. So, one of the things that
great story.
Yeah. One of the things that people talk about is like chitterlings.
Right.
The slang word is chitlins. Mm-hmm. And it was the intestines of a pig. Like that sounds like gross, but if you're in survival mode and you're just trying to stay alive and feed your children, you're gonna take it and you're gonna clean it and you're gonna make it into, and now that's what it is. It is.
They can call it what they want.
Call it what they want.
I love me a plate of chitlins. So, even to this day.
Even to this day. So it was kind of cool.
But you can't eat everybody chitlins.
You can't eat everybody. You gotta be clean. Right. But I got a nice compliment even from my editor for explaining kind of the history, the background of the food versus just saying, hey, they had a nice event and they served food and it was good.
And that's one thing about your excellent work that you do in the community. You're just not covering stories. There's a story behind your story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love the way you educate our community,
Thank you for that.
because every time I read a particular piece that you've done for the Blade, I really, really learned so much. What I didn't know before about that particular organization.
I appreciate
So
that.
keep doing that, because that is so powerful. I mean, it really, really, it's one thing just, generally covering a story, but in your case, when you cover a story, you also get into the realms of why you are covering that story and some educational aspects about that.
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate that. But I do want to say to you, next time that you visit UT and the Soul Food, make sure you call me. And
Call
let me
you,
know.
get you a plate.
Or let me know, I'll come with you. Yeah, let me know, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a pleasure, Sheila Howard, She-Jag, having you here this morning in our studios. I really, really appreciate you coming, and I just want to let everybody know that everything that Taylor Automotive does in the community, most things you cover, and I just want to appreciate you for that. All of us do. We really, really thank you for the love and support that you show us.
Thank you for having me. And yes, Taylor does so much in the community that there's always a story that I can write,
Right.
where you guys are in somewhere in the article, even the one that I wrote yesterday.
Mhm.
You were at the event representing. So Taylor Automotive is sprinkled into many of my stories, because the ambassadors out there
Right.
doing the work.
The philanthropy
So
side of it.
yeah, so yeah, I can in turn say thank you
Right.
to Taylor, to you, and to Taylor for giving me something to write about.
I really appreciate that. Okay, thank you very much for coming
Absolutely.
in.
Thank
Well,
you.
there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it on the Steve Taylor Community Connection Show. See you next time.